for the grand finale on Championship Saturday here in Peoria. The 2A IHSA boys basketball state title game. Tip-off is coming your way in just a few minutes between Orr Academy and Mount Carmel. Let's take a look at a couple key players to watch tonight. Starting with Orr Academy, number 25, Raekwon Drake. He was a force to be reckoned with yesterday for the Spartans. He finished with 12 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 blocks. Getting things done on both ends of the floor. He'll aim to do something similar today. And for Mount Carmel, number 20, Justin Carpenter. Talk about an all-around solid showing. He put up 15 points, had 15 rebounds alongside 6 assists and 6 blocks. Just another day at the office for the big man. He's looking to have another big day for his Golden Aces. From inside Carver Arena, I'm Katie Winge. Thanks for joining us tonight. This matchup really presents two big questions. How will Mount Carmel deal with the pace of the game, and how will the Orr Academy deal with Mount Carmel's big men inside? But before we get into all of that, let's take a look and see how things played out earlier today with 1A and then this third place game for 2A so far. The third place game for 1A, Hope Academy took that one 60-46. The championship for 1A was a nail-biter overtime thriller. St. Anthony over Oakville, 49-46. All-stater Drew Gibson had 14 points and hit some key free throws down the stretch. And we had a close third place game. Bishop Mack over Monticello, 58-53, and it's all led up to this one, Orr versus Mount Carmel, in just a few minutes. And with that, let's move in a little closer to the action with Dave Bernhardt and Mike Lindo. Guys, how are things shaping up down there?
I tell you what, there's a feeling in here. It's just a little bit different. I mean, you have different parts of the state here. You have the Chicago area, you have down in the southeastern part of the state, and people are excited to see this game. But, you know, they're always excited when you get to the 2A championship game, Mark, because you're going to see all-staters, and we're going to see that. But tonight, you are in for a special treat because maybe unlike any other year in Class 2A, you have 6 potential Division I players playing in this game.
I know I'm juiced about that myself. The Golden Aces, yes, they have a pair of potential Division I players, or with potentially 4 of their own. So 6 guys that might be playing the next level on the big stage tonight. And it's a plethora of players in regards to positions. There's posts, there's big guys with Division I talent. The wings that can stroke the basketball. Point guards that are explosive to their 10. There's stars rising tonight, and talent equals title for one of these teams here tonight.
And for all those reasons, these two teams are playing in Peoria. Here's how they got here as you take a look at Mount Carmel. Double-digit win last night in the semifinals for the Golden Aces after a big win over Alton Marquette. For Orr Academy, they've had a pretty smooth road. Super sectional win, a big one over Collins Academy, and then the 18-point win over Monticello last night. Let's take a peek back at those state semifinals played just 24 hours ago. And for Orr Academy, you saw the score, and now you will see Alexander Flute. Big-time threes. He had 4 threes in the first quarter, and then it was Raekwon Drake inside with the defense. Off the bench for Orr Academy, the long 3 ball. Danny Smith, big game. Danny Smith with 15 points. Raekwon Drake had 12 points, 10 rebounds, including one of those dunks right there from the first team All-Stater. Danny Smith, you talk about bigs for Mount Carmel. Those are the 2 bigs inside for Lewis Adams going to the state championship game for the first time in his career. For Mount Carmel, they last won a state title in 1927, and they got it from their big players. Jackson Marcotte and now Justin Carpenter. Those 2 combined for 36 points, 27 rebounds, 8 blocks, 7 assists, 12 of 21 from the floor. Throw in some long-range shooting from Brett Doan. And then the inside moves from Austin Rager, and all added up to a win, 67-55. Justin Marcotte putting the finishing touches on that one as the Golden Aces come to the state title game. They will meet Orr Academy. You've got a big one and an interesting one coming up. It will be 2 teams battling for this, your Class 2A state championship, and it's all coming your way next. Orr Academy, Mount Carmel, right here on CSN. The 2017 IHSA Basketball State Finals are brought to you by Country Financial. At Country Financial, we understand that helping you means knowing you. Take charge of owning your future with Country Financial. Call your local rep at 1-866-COUNTRY or visit ownyourfuture.com. Glad to have you with us here at Carver Arena for the boys 2A state basketball championships. Let's get it going. Let's go to our public address announcer, Paul Herzog.
Year 2017 features the Golden Aces of Mount Carmel, 29-4, and the Spartans of Chicago Orr, 22-5. And now to honor America. Please stand, remove your caps, and pause for a moment of silence as we remember the men and women of the armed forces serving us here and around the world, away from their families, protecting our freedom. Thank you as we thank them. Now please address the flag with your hand over your heart as Christian Mayo, a senior from Homewood Flossmoor High School, sings the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And now let's meet the starting lineup for this 2A championship game. At a guard for Mount Carmel, a 6-foot junior, 3, Braden Stipp. At a guard for Chicago Orr, a 5'11 senior, 4, Alexander Flute. Another guard for the Golden Aces, a 6'2 sophomore, 4, Brett Doan. And a forward for the Spartans, a 6'6 junior, 0, Tyron Mosley. And a forward for Mount Carmel, a 6'9 senior, 20, Justin Carpenter. And a forward for Chicago Orr, a 6'3 senior, 10, Sam Williams. And a forward for the Golden Aces, a 6'3 sophomore, 21, Austin Rager. And a forward for the Spartans, a 6'5 junior, 23, Danny Smith. And a forward from Mount Carmel, a 6'8 junior, 34, Jackson Marcotte. And a forward, Chicago Orr, a 6'5 junior, 25, Raekwon Drake.
Our starting lineups presented by Taco Bell look like this. First of all, for Orr, you have the first team All-Stater, Raekwon Drake. He's gone back-to-back with that honor. 12 points, 10 rebounds last night. Danny Smith, who has exploded upon the scene this year, he had a 15-point effort last night. We talked about Alexander Flute with 4 threes last night. You have a 6'6 point guard in Tyron Mosley, and rounded out by Sam Williams. And on the other side, for Mount Carmel, the bigs, Justin Carpenter, last night, 15 points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists, and 6 blocks. He's an honorable mention All-Stater. Jackson Marcotte just named to the second team last night in just 19 minutes. He had 21 points, 13 rebounds, 2 assists, and a block. Tyler Buss is the head coach of Mount Carmel. He is in his 6th season, and he has been one smiling man all weekend long. Happy with how his team played to get here, and happy about coming in tonight. Lewis Adams, you heard from him a little bit earlier in his 5th season at Orr Academy. He is fired up for a chance for a state championship. He has felt it all season long, the opportunity that this unit was going to give him.
Should be a great one here tonight. We mentioned it on the open, all sorts of star power. We should see some up and down basketball in what should be a great state championship game. And to call the state title, here's a Hall of Fame voice of the IHSA, my partner, Dave Bernhard.
Thank you very much, Mark Lindo. It will be Raekwon Drake going up against Jackson Marcotte. Drake at 6'5". He is a leaper. Marcotte 6'8" tall. And it will be the Aces to get things started here in Peoria. Braden Stipp met by Mosley. Last night it was Marcotte that got off the blocks early. And it's rejected by Mosley. James Broadway, Larry Barnett, Aaron Wright officiating this 2A championship game.
We see the storyline imposed very early on in this game. They go inside to Marcotte. He makes a big-time move, but bang, slot out of nowhere. The athletic jumping ability by Orr with good weak side defense, knocking that ball away.
Justin Carpenter, there's the lob to Marcotte. Waits, and it will not go.
What a great tandem they are, Carpenter and Marcotte. They know each other so well. Great high-low basketball.
Orr Academy playing in the Chicago Public League. The enrollment 376. It is dip. They were here in 2013 and 2014 as a 3A school. Marcotte gets our scoring started tonight.
Marcotte is so big, he's so strong, and he's mobile. This young man can put the ball on the deck. He's so versatile. He can play Division I football. He has offers. He already has Division I basketball. Quite the athlete, just a junior.
Tyron Mosley moved into that point guard position in December, and there's a 3 ball from Danny Smith. Smith, 6'5", 170-pound junior, averages 11 points per game.
Coach Adams thinks he's one of the most talented players in the entire city, maybe the entire state.
Hand on the ball. Carpenter with it. Justin Carpenter headed to Southeast Missouri State. He'll back down Williams. And Justin Carpenter finishes strong inside.
5-inch advantage on the inside. He backed him out with his wide backside. He knew he had the height advantage and even a strength advantage. Good isolation at the block and the finish.
So Mount Carmel team, 4 losses. 3 of them have come by a total of 5 points. For Orr. 1 point loss to Whitney Young. Whitney Young playing in a super sectional class 4A. Coming up is Raekwon Drake. Knocks down the short jumper.
Oh, so sweet. Averaging 15.5, a big-time prospect. Just was named second team All-City and second team, or second straight years, sometimes All-Area.
Last game that Orr played in the regular season, it was a 1-point loss in the Chicago Public League playoffs. A 1-point loss to defending 4A champ Curie. Marcotte triple team. Marcotte came from his side to the opposite side, and he'll go back to the free throw line as we take a look at the Golden Aces hailing from the southeastern portion of the state in Wabash County, just a tick under 500 enrollment. Their conference is the Big 8 conference. They play in an Indiana conference with entirely Indiana schools, and it is a power conference. Mount Carmel, the smallest school in that conference, and there was a stretch where if you were an Indiana state champion, you played in that Big 8 conference.
Yeah, they have to get a chance to play a different style of ball. Marcotte has shot over 190 free throws now. You think when he gets it deep, he has a purpose?
He has split his 4 attempts here tonight. This is a junior-dominated team for Orr Academy.
Flute looking for the shot he got off early last night.
It will be Danny Smith guarding Marcotte. Brett Doan, he's a 3-point threat, but he'll give it up. Flute again, this time from the right wing.
Flute was 4 of his first 5 in the first quarter last night. Left his first 2 looks short tonight, not using much legs.
And legs will be a story here tonight. Flute, one of the 2 seniors on this roster, will take it the distance and will be denied. Austin Rager right there. Carpenter. And a pretty good look. Smith on Marcotte. And it will be Danny Smith that attacks the basket.
Marcotte stayed vertical. Good no call. Play on. Let the athletes decide the outcome right there. Smith very aggressive to the basket.
Long range Carpenter. Working with the 3-point lead midway through the first quarter of your 2A state championship game.
Coach Tyler Buss liked that shot. He told Carpenter, good look, good look.
Rebound from the sophomore Rager off the miss from junior Raekwon Drake. 1 basket in this game for Mount Carmel. It came from Carpenter. He has it now. Will not go for Doan. Sam Williams high for the board. 1 and done. And Lewis Adams will take the timeout. He had a media timeout coming up, but Lewis Adams, a 5th-year head coach at Orr, says, nope, I am taking it right now. Danny Smith, as we said, has come from nowhere. Just beginning organized basketball, reigns a 3, and that's the difference we have in your 2A title game.
Hello, my name is Raekwon Drake, and I'm here with Orr Academy. My dream job is to be a chef because I like to cook and I like to eat. A talent I wish I had is to be a singer because I see singers attract a lot of girls, and I like girls. Something you don't know about Coach Adam is he's a fantastic cooker. Like he can cook some food. Like he should be a chef himself. He should open up his own business. Something funny about one of my teammates, Rayvon Turner. He can sing. Rayvon Turner can sing. Like he sounds like a Trey Songz or something. Coach I can imitate is Phil. He be like, hey man, what you doing? What's up, kid? My favorite dance move is the moonwalk, Michael Jackson.
Raekwon Drake, and I'm telling you, that floor with his basketball shoes, not the easiest type of surface to moonwalk, but he was talking about Lewis Adams being a chef, and I know, Katie, you were a little bit disappointed on Thursday that Lewis didn't bring us some food. Katie will have more on Lewis Adams, the chef, in just a moment.
Good inside out, then the ball reversal back around. Nice ball movement.
Or the other way. Danny Smith to slow it up to Tyron Mosley. He is so tough to stop inside, Raekwon Drake.
He's so versatile because he can put the ball on the floor and score. He can face the basket and score. He can play with his back to the basket. What a great quick drop step and score there.
Austin Rager attacks. And a held ball. And you're talking about Lewis Adams being a chef, and Katie, you're very much aware of his skills. Unfortunately, not with the taste buds part of it.
Yeah, Dave, actually, he's not just good at stirring things up on the basketball court. He's also good in the kitchen. He's a licensed chef, and he told me he cooks sometimes for 50 to 100 people in his neighborhood. He's also cooked for his team, and their favorite, he said, is jerk chicken. The guys told me he's brought his grill and barbecued actually right on school grounds. So apparently he's all about the soul and the fire and the passion on the floor, but he's also all about the soul food, guys.
Well, Raekwon Drake, he likes to eat. There's a sweet shot from Raekwon Drake.
Yeah, he likes to score, too. He put that one above his head, about 15 feet. Nice extension, and now a steal.
Sam Williams got it.
That's what they can live off. Once they get one steal, they're going to be like sharks in water right now, being very aggressive, extending the floor 94 feet, creating havoc.
And with that, it's a 9-point difference here with 90 seconds to play in the first. Still, just one field goal made by the Aces.
And everything's under duress right now. The heavy breathing is actually already taking place for the Golden Aces.
And that was one thing that a couple of members of their team mentioned last night after their win over Bishop McNamara is it was a physical game against McNamara, and they were indeed tired. And now you bounce back again on this long floor against a very active team here in Orr Academy.
Well, Carpenter, Stitt, Doan, and Rager all played the full 32 minutes. The only reason Marcotte, the big number 34 on the inside back position, didn't is he was in foul trouble and played 18 minutes last night. You see him trying to get position underneath.
Blake Golden, the only reserve last night from Mount Carmel. He's in the ball game now, and he tries to save it in bounds. Indeed, he did. Here's Marcotte to Carpenter, and Raekwon Drake rejects the other way. Drop off and a whistle. It was Emmanuel Neal the drop, but it was the block by number 25, Raekwon Drake, that got this thing started.
Watch him come into your picture, time it up, get his right hand in. Now, that was after about 3 or 4 deflections they had on the defensive end. Look at him come, not in my house, not tonight.
Drake, not only a Chicago Sun-Times all-area selection and an all-city selection, first-team all-stater the last 2 years, and he is just a junior.
He also has the ability to get the foul line 155 times now. The reason we bring up those numbers, coaches love to look at how many times you get to the foul line. If you're getting the ball deep into the rim, you'll draw fouls, and that means you're being an aggressive offensive player.
9-0 run here by Orr to push the lead to 10. Good ball movement. Golden has his shot altered, and that will lead to a break the other way. On the run, Brian Hernandez. It's an 11-0 run.
Run out, beat your man down the floor, and reward it. Usually it's a little shaker to get it to a big guy running the floor. That time, Hernandez, who loves the game of basketball, loved to run the floor there, and the finish on transition.
A 16-4 lead in the final 20 seconds of the first quarter. Marcotte doubled up, strong enough to get it through.
Too strong on the inside. They just got to get it to him more often, and Orr's defense is prohibiting that.
Emmanuel O'Neal. Rager, and the horn goes off. First 8 minutes. An 11-0 run by Orr Academy has pushed the Spartans on top by 10 at the end of 1 here in your Class 2A title game. Monday on CSN, he scored 52 points the last time they met up. Jimmy Butler's back for more as the Bulls head to Charlotte. Coverage begins at 5:30 with Bulls pregame live and streaming on the NBC Sports app.
Well, in the first quarter, Orr a sizzling 7 out of 14, getting the ball deep. Just 1 out of 3 from the arc, but on the other side, a combined 2 out of 7 between the two big guys, Carpenter and Marcotte, because everything has been under duress. They got to get Doan to hit a couple jump shots here to basically take some pressure off the two big guys.
It is O'Neal that gets a hand on the ball. Danny Smith, slight opening. Carpenter with the block. Last night he had 6 of them. Let's check in with Katie Winge. She was listening in on Tyler Buss's huddle from Mount Carmel.
Thanks, Dave. Yeah, he actually mentioned we're going to start making shots. That was one of the main points he talked to his guys about. But one way to get their offense going, he said, is to get boards. They have no offensive rebounds. He pointed that out to the guys. And then against that press break, he said our best press break is getting stops. On defense, he mentioned get a high hand, and we have to keep getting back, limiting that pace of the game, guys.
Well, he's talking about closing out on shooters and then finishing with defensive boards. And they had the one press break where they had 4 passes, no dribbles on the floor, and then boom, Orr comes in with another block, which they are very, very solid at protecting their rim.
Brian Hernandez had 9 points off the bench last night, missed that long one, and Mount Carmel will have an opportunity here. No chance to get off a 3 there.
A lot of flare screen here for a jump shot. Flare 2 is what it's called. They're going to screen for a shooter on the outside. There it is.
Doan gets that look. And which way will this be going? Inside, it was Alexander Flute, and that's who the foul will go on.
So on that particular play, flare 2, we had just talked about getting Doan involved. Coach thought so as well. They run a double screen for him from the back, a blind screen. He got a good look.
The pressure forces the turnover. And now, looking for the stop if you are an Aces fan.
Well, now you got to. Katie talked about the huddle for the Aces and rebounding. You cannot play above the glass with Orr. They're going to have to be fundamentally sound. Block out, body, then ball responsibilities. Watch bodies. Watch bodies. There it is. Great picture right there of fundamental. There was 3 white shirts. If we get a chance to see the white shirts blocking out 1, 2, 3 people, all did their job on that play. Got the over the back fall.
Austin Rager was the closest man to work for that rebounding advantage.
There's the press break. The ball has not hit the floor yet. There's a couple dribbles down the middle.
Stone from the corner hit one there last night. Smith, the inside position. No offensive rebound on that trip. There's an offensive rebound and an easy putback for Emmanuel O'Neal.
And that's a situation where there wasn't a body on the offensive rebounder, and he goes ahead, Emmanuel O'Neal, I should say, and goes ahead and kisses the offensive glass.
(18-6) lead here in the first 2.5 minutes of the second quarter.
Emmanuel O'Neal comes from the weak side, so we see untouched there, and Orr makes it hurt. Anticipating the miss on the weak side, O'Neal 6'3", 145, but he's a leaper with a nose for the basketball on missed shots. A great offensive rebounding team are the Spartans.
That was a 17th foul on Orr. Send Marcotte to the free throw line. 70% on the season. He's 3 of 5 tonight. Coming into high school at Mount Carmel, Jackson Marcotte, I think pretty much thought that basketball is going to be his #1 sport, but all of a sudden when you grow to be 6'8", 224 pounds, and you're just a junior and a receiver, things have a way of kind of turning and giving you multiple options.
Absolutely. He's already a 1,000-point scorer, as is Carpenter.
Softly off the glass for Drake. He had 12 points, 10 rebounds last night. He has 9 points here in the first half this evening.
Takes it right over the 6'8" guy, just Drake at 6'5".
Passing out of pressure. Rager from 15. Takes a little bit of a bump, but keeps it alive. Marcotte. Justin Marcotte with 8 of the Aces' 10 points. That'll be Marcotte picking up the personal foul. Lead doubled up right now. Orr on top, 20-10. Reach midpoint of the second quarter. We'll be back. We're about 4:46 away from halftime here. Of course, you'll get the trophies and medals presented to the 3rd and 4th place finishers here tonight in 2A, but Katie Wingy is going to tell us more about what's coming up at the half.
Thanks, Dave. Yeah, I have an opportunity to chat with Rick Tellender, he's writer for the Chicago Sun-Times, that did a 5-part series on Orr Academy throughout this season. So we will sit down with him and get his thoughts on this team, some of the challenging things they have overcome on their road to this state title game. Dave?
A lot of media attention here placed on the Spartans, and not just here on CSN. Looking for their first state title.
Marcotte visibly on the bench now, or not on the floor right now, with 2 fouls will be a storyline to follow.
Another offensive rebound after Smith with the miss. Well, that's a decision here that Tyler Buss is going to have to keep an eye on the clock and an eye on the scoreboard with Marcotte with 2 personals.
Well, and a lot of coaches, you see Coach Buss family, a very recognizable name in Mount Carmel. But you see a lot of coaches say if he gets his second, he's out for the rest of the half. But you mentioned it's a game-by-game decision. He's got to have a feel, and he's got to trust his coaching staff right now to help him make that decision so they're all on the same page.
Couple of free throws for Emmanuel O'Neill, stretches it to a 12-point difference. Better hurry, they cross in time.
Cutters through the lane now, trying to spread things out just a little bit more.
Doan just can't get that clean look. That time Hernandez closed on him.
Speed of the game a little bit quicker than he is used to right now.
Carpenter right back at it. 2 misses from in tight. Hernandez ahead O'Neill. Here come the Spartans. And that's an offensive foul on Emmanuel O'Neill.
Great effort getting back, getting his feet squared up. Fundamentally sound play by Austin Rager. Watch him hurry, sprint to make a play, and then he takes it right in the chest. Take one for the team, turn it around the other way. That should pick up his ball club.
Pressure broken.
Ball never hit the floor. Good ball movement. 1-2-1, a 1-2-1-1 press break.
Doan halfway down. Rager still won't go. And again. Possession to Orr.
So a little bit of frustration by the Aces because they are very active to the glass there, but their shots are hurried right much. They're in an anticipatory state because there's been so many shots just swatted away. You're always looking for an Orr jersey to come by you. You have to go up, take the ball up strong.
Right now, Mount Carmel has made just 3 of 21 shots, 14%. Orr will reset with 3 minutes to play in the first half.
They got Smith isolated the post, see if they get him a touch.
They're looking for him. There it is. And it is Carpenter with the board. That is his 4th rebound tonight. Austin Rager with 9 rebounds already for the Aces. Blake Golden will give it up to Rager. And a hurried shot. Flute that line drive 3 attempt. Mount Carmel takes a 30-second timeout, and here comes Marcotte off the bench.
Good timeout, I believe a good substitution. You're chasing 12 right now. You have a Division I athlete on the bench with 2 fouls. You got to get him back in. There are certain times in a ball game that the game can be won or lost. People think it's a 4th quarter. It can happen in the middle of the 1st quarter, the middle of the 2nd quarter. This is a key time right now. Can Mount Carmel get themselves back into a manageable deficit in the last 2:28 here?
Again, 3rd place and 4th place awards coming up. The Sun-Times writer Rick Tellender returns to his hometown. Tellender, a Peoria Richwoods graduate, then went on to Northwestern University. He will be here to talk to Kitty about that 5-part series, a compelling series on Orr basketball here in 2017.
2-2-1 press by the Spartans. So they want to get the ball to the sideline. Aces want to get it in the middle.
Off the 30-second timeout, the turnover. The 6th of the night.
You have that much quickness like Orr does. If you're the Aces, you have to meet every pass, shorten every pass, and be strong with the ball. Look at the backhand.
Danny Smith.
And Marcotte throwing his hands up because he can't do much about it with 2 fouls. So good recognition by Orr going at Marcotte with foul trouble.
Ahead to Rager. And that did everything that agonized Austin Rager, his first basket.
Agonized Coach Bus, too. He was sweating that one out. He had body language to try to get that layup to go in.
Lead remains doubled up at 24-12. 90 seconds left, first half. Great feed inside. Smith to Mosley. Or make that O'Neal.
O'Neal with a great cut, just slashing down the middle lane. An open lane that was not defended very well. Good cut, hard cut to the goal.
Marcotte pounded the ball to the floor and took it to the basket. And again, his coach's heart was probably in his throat. And it works out for Jackson Marcotte. 10 of his team's 14 points. Mosley will bring it back up top. 6'6", 140-pound junior.
Nice picture of Drake and Smith right there by the circle. The two guys that can flat out score the basketball.
Smith with the ball on his hip. Touch slash, just a slight deflection from Braden Stipp. Now Marcotte will leave with 22 seconds left.
Good substitution there. Get him out, offense, defense. I think right now, if you're Mount Carmel, they have 3 fouls to give. They don't want to give up an easy basket, as well as you got to force a jump shot here. You cannot let Orr take this ball deep to the goal.
We're under 10. O'Neal. The assist, O'Neal, the basket, Smith. That basket at the buzzer ended a stretch of a little over 3 minutes without a field goal. But it will be the Spartans who keep that lead doubled. They've doubled it at 20-10 at 24-12, and they'll go to the locker room on top. 28-14, bidding for their first state championship in school history. Their head coach, Lewis Adams, is with Katie.
Thanks, Dave. Coach, how do you feel about that style of play in the first half?
We played pretty good basketball. We got to front the post a little bit better. Once we front the post, we should be okay.
You told Tyrone that you were very happy with the way he came to play tonight. Why?
He playing with a motor tonight. You know they don't have a motor. He have a motor tonight.
What's the plan for the second half? Will you change anything this time?
Keep it the same, see what happens.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half. David, Mark, back to you guys.
A happy coach, Lewis Adams. And he should be. He has Danny Smith, the 6'5 junior. He has 9 points. Raekwon Drake, 9 as well. And some defense from the All-Stater.
And we are inside Carver Arena. Orr is leading Mount Carmel 28-14, and now we have a very special guest inside Carver Arena, Rick Tellender, writer at the Chicago Sun-Times, and you did a wonderful 5-piece series on this Orr team. Tell me a little bit about the background of that.
Well, it's a fascinating team and a fascinating, if I can say that, part of town. You know, Chicago, obviously, there's a lot of violence, and, you know, they're on the west side, and there have been a lot of dangerous situations around there. But these kids, you know, once you start to know them, they all have individual personalities. You know, you don't realize when you just watch players out on the floor. But you see the ones that are quiet, the ones that are shy, the ones that are outspoken. And, of course, their coach, Lou Adams, always puts on a show. I don't know if you've seen that, but I'd say, Lou, sometime your head is going to blow up, you know, because he just gets so exercised out on the floor. And he screams at these guys, but it's not like the way, say, Bobby Knight did, because they really respect him. And, you know, I've come to really appreciate all the things they've gone through and all the talent that they have on that team.
You were around them very often this season. Was there anything really inspirational that stuck out to you about these guys?
I started before the season even began, and I didn't know they were any good. So first of all, I had no idea they'd be playing the state championship game, and right now 28-14 looks like they might be winning it. So I didn't know that at all. I think when they played some of these early games, and they played against some teams, 4A teams in Chicago, they lost by 1 point to Whitney Young. I think it really made them realize we're as good as anybody. Most of these guys are juniors. Alex Flute is a senior, and Sam Williams is a senior. But basically the whole team will be back again. So I think being here on this big court, and believe me, if you're a high school kid, this is a big place. It looks like the baskets are suspended in space. I think that it's going to inspire them for next year, too.
You talk about getting to know them so well. I mean, all the things that they've overcome, the adversity kind of that they've gone through. What does that say about them that they're here competing for a state title?
It's just wonderful. Listen, I believe in the beauty and the value and kind of the redemptive qualities of sport. I just really do. It's part of me. I don't think play is play is not serious, but it's not a joke. It's something you need to do, and it's something that helps you become a person. The things that they can learn and have learned, the way a team is greater than the sum of its parts, which is always the best part of any sport, where you get on a team and you think, well, I'm okay, this guy's okay, but when we come together, there's something magical. And I think they've experienced that. They spend a lot of time, they run a lot, and Lou sits there a lot of times and he gets moody and all that, but then they mess with him like in the hallway. They really love him. They love their coach. I can tell you that. You may have seen him like screaming at Tyrone Mosley, and he shoved him in the chest, and he puts him right back in the game. These guys all have tough home lives. A lot of them have to travel long ways to get to school. There's danger all around them, but it's just they're the blessed and the lucky to be on this team.
You talk about what they've learned about as a team, but what did you learn from them?
I'm on an eternal quest to learn everything I can about humans. Every time, first of all, I love teenage boys. I just think they're fascinating. They're not boys, they're not men. Nobody wants them around. You don't want any teenage boys anywhere. There's no place for them to go. It's a fascinating time, very difficult time. They're inspirational, they're goofy, they're stupid, they're ridiculous. They can always do things that could be very dangerous. But I think it showed me that it reminds me of, here I am back in Peoria, my hometown. My high school class, Peoria Richards, 1967, back in the Model T car era. It reminds me of what I was in high school and how unformed I was and how things that happen in sports will lead to, the future road, what you're going to become.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much for meeting us today and talking about that five-part series,
Katie.
again, for the Chicago Sun-Times. And we will be back with much more Orr leads over Mount Carmel right now. We will be back to start the second half right after this.
Thanks for joining us for our coverage of the 2A State Basketball Championships from Peoria. Dave Bernhard, Mark Lindo, and Katie Winge with you. And Mark, a team shoots 5 of 24 in the first half. That's one of the reasons they only have 14 after 2 quarters of play.
They advanced shooting 58% last night at Mount Carmel. You talked about the 5 for 24. Everything is hurried. Everything is under duress. They've got to get a nice, easy shot early on in this quarter to rise from a confidence level standpoint.
And a turnover off the first possession. A foot stomp from Tyler Buss, the head coach for Mount Carmel. Original starting lineups back in for both of these teams. It is Danny Smith with it now. Find Raekwon Drake. Does not force anything. Back to Alex Flute. Smith, the baseline drive. Katie was listening in to Tyler Buss. What did he have to say?
Dave, I asked him what his message was to the guys at halftime, and he said, really, we just need to put the ball in the hole offensively. He really focused on defensive rebounding, making sure they attack the boards. I asked him what their plan to do against the press was in the second half as well. He said they're going to go with more of a too-high look against the press, hoping to get stuff on the back end of it, guys.
Well, you got to finish when you break pressure. They've been unable to do that because the attack mode has been stifled by good rotation, spreading the floor by Orr once the front line is beaten. You see there, they try to get Doan off the snide a little bit, but once again, his shot is blocked.
Aces want to push it a little bit. Long one from Doan. Marcotte. And that was a delayed block. You saw the elevation from Drake. He couldn't get that one from Rager, though.
So Rager's the one that makes them get back on the board after having a long shot missed and then a rejection on the inside. See if this picks them up on the defensive end just a bit.
Jackson Marcotte playing with a couple of fouls. Flute up over Justin Carpenter. Raquan Drake, double figures. He has 11.
So quick is his release. He hit his heels. Boom, the ball's gone.
Stipp has it knocked away. Danny Smith. A layup for Danny Smith as Carpenter let him go.
Run-outs, run for fun, or with the steal, the quick hands, and then the run-out at the other end.
Carpenter, the soft little jumper. That's his 4th point of the night, coming off a 15-point, 14 rebound, 6 assists, 6 block effort last night in the semifinals. An honorable mention All-Stater.
Yeah, he put on a passing clinic in the semifinals to help propel his team into this title tilt.
Mosley, tough shot. There's Sam Williams. He does all the dirty work. He just seems to make plays. Sam Williams, right where you need him. Loose ball 2. Marcotte, foul, Williams. Into the game for Orr Academy. That's Brian Hernandez, one of the top 6 men in the state. Comes off the bench, 11 points. How about that for offense? Coming off the bench, loves basketball. In fact, Hernandez told his mom when he was 5 years old that he just wanted to be a basketball player. And his older brother, Robert, they went to some pretty grueling basketball drills.
They went 3 miles of defensive slides to get home one night. That just shows the passion they have for the game. 2 brothers sharing the same passion. He says, I live for the game.
Mount Carmel has taken 2 points off of that 14-point halftime lead. O'Neal foul as the 6'3" junior finds himself into the paint. Jackson Marcotte, he has 12 points. His team has 20. They are 12 points short of the Orr Spartans.
I'm Justin Carpenter, and I play with the Mount Carmel Golden Aces. Something about Coach we don't know. He's an extremely superstitious coach. He follows a lot of the same things on game day and all that. He had the same pair of socks he didn't wash for a while until we lost a certain game, and that was kind of a weird one. But Dawson Brown, one of our guards, he always knows what kind of food to get at every place. He's like an inner fat kid, you know. He just knows what to eat, where to get it, and all that. It's awesome. Strangest food. When I was a kid, I tried fried octopus, and I did not like it. The texture was terrible. I have a couple superstitions. I have the same pair of game day socks I've wore all year. I wear both left socks that they have on them just because one day I did, and it just kind of worked for us. And then I tie my shoes a certain way. One's lower than the other, and I put those in the shoes. And yeah, there's a couple others, but it's a long list. I think I can do a pretty good Coach Bus imitation. Yeah. Why are we trying to dunk everything? Just put the ball in the hole.
Now, I have to tell you that you know, we do those on Thursdays, the day of the shoot-around, and we had to ask Justin to do that 2 or 3 times because the first time he did it, it just about blew out our microphone. So we had to dial it up and get the equipment all arranged, but he was having a good time with it. And he'll get the rebound right here.
Well, the Aces finally got their first 3 ball to go in. Doan knocked one down from downtown Peoria, and that's what they've needed. They're 1 out of 10 from the arc, counting that one, or just 1 out of 7. So outside shooting has been at a premium here tonight, and the Aces are going to need Doan to hit a couple more if they're going to get back in this thing.
enough to get it to be a single-digit game. That's what it would take with the 3.
You see, Doan was spotted up for a 3 right there, but Tyron Mosley just way too quick. Gets a deflection, knocks out of bounds. He knows his personnel. KYP knows who can shoot the basketball. They've done a good job identifying number 4.
There he is, long one. Got it!
Off a double screen, right on script. They know where he's at, but it takes 3 to score. A passer, a screener, and a shooter. Well executed offensively right there by the Aces. And you see Doan clapping his hands, trying to get his team geeked.
That brings his crowd back into the game, but that will bring the Orr crowd to their feet. Tyron Mosley.
Tyron Mosley, big-time offensive dunk.
Marcotte will get it to go. Well, I was just going to say that Mosley fired up his crowd, but I think he fired up Jackson Marcotte.
Well, 2 great competitors. There's one competitor right there. Got a little bit of smile, a little bit of swag right there, taking it right into the teeth of the defense. The big fella with a big play, trying to finish it off here from the line.
A 3-point shot, followed by a 3-point play, makes it an 8-point game. 3 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. Mosley will pull up. Mount Carmel actually holding a rebounding advantage here tonight, 23-22, despite that offensive board from O'Neal.
O'Neal just so active on the offensive glass. Not a huge leaper, but boy, he knows where the ball's going.
Smith on Marcotte. Drake. The way he gets up there and hangs, you think one hand is grabbing the rim just to support himself.
Are you kidding me? What a great follow right there. He came in unchecked, and he was above the goal to just lay it back down.
3 ball. O'Neal, a little grin on his face. A piece of that ball on the miss.
Twin Towers right there in your picture, 6'9" and 6'8".
A little bit of life here in the Aces steps. O'Neal spins it the other way. Here's Smith. Danny Smith running the floor, and he is rewarded.
Once again, when any time Mount Carmel sees an open teammate, the pass is made, and then, boom, a deflection by an Orr defender. Oh, so quick in their anticipation of passing lanes.
Great inbounds to Marcotte. It came from Braden Stipp.
They had no backside help. Stipp with great recognition lobbed it away from the defender as he was in front of the high side. Excellent execution on the sideline out of bounds play for 2.
17 points tonight for Jackson Marcotte. Mosley!
Oh my, can he fly?
Clean pick. O'Neal. And the ball on the sideline because of Danny Smith kind of running ahead of Emmanuel O'Neal. But how about Tyron Mosley getting it up and getting it done?
Takes off with the free throw and up and over Marcotte. What a huge dunk. Right in to the dunk tank coming into your living room. And you feel it. Look at the smile.
And it will be Carpenter reaching. He thought he was fouled, so he just reaches to deny that break. It was as if there's been just a little switch turned up here in the last couple of minutes.
You know, great call by you with the feel of the game. And Mount Carmel is taking the game to Orr right now, but Orr taking it right back. They have not blinked yet. They've taken a punch or two, and they come right back with a couple exhilarating plays up above the rim.
Good patience here by the Spartans.
Usually at this point, I can anticipate who's going to get this shot. They have so many weapons. 4 Division I players possibly on the floor that anyone on OR can make a play in the open floor.
At 20 seconds to play in the third.
That's a matchup they want, though. Speed against foul trouble.
Nearly the steal from Marcotte. Now Danny Smith. Smith on Marcotte. Hernandez, 3, bring it up. Textbook for OR to close out the third quarter.
Well, they spread the floor. They know that Hernandez can shoot the basketball. He does it. He's spotted up. Here's the play made. The drive, the draw, the dish, the dime, and the finish. A great executed spread of the floor as they take the lead into the fourth quarter.
And that is 2A basketball. Are you coming back next week for 3A and 4A?
Hey, we said it at the open. There's not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6 Division I basketball players potentially on the floor right now. And they are shining stars here tonight.
Saw the dunks from Tyron Mosley. Or right now in a 9-2 run, and that followed a Mount Carmel 9-2 run.
We alluded to they took a punch and they came right back with an explosive spurt of their own to the OR Spartans.
O'Neal, so solid off the bench. Fans here in Carver Arena may want to see a few more high flyers, but Lewis Adams looking to win a state championship. He pulls his team out as Danny Smith will take it in on Marcotte.
Danny Smith, 170. A little bit of quickness against the 224 Marcotte beating of the basket. And Danny Smith lost, what, about 45 or 50 pounds or more. He's lost 20 since the season started. He was carrying a little bit of body fat, to be perfectly honest about it, and he slimmed down, did it with training, did it with running. This OR team ran the track on their own miles a day. Rick Tellender alluded to that. That creates team bonding, it creates discipline.
Well, I was trying to get on Thursday Danny Smith's plan as to how he can drop that much weight, and all he kept saying was, well, I ran a lot and I kept running a lot and I just ate better.
That didn't sound too good to you, did it?
I was looking for something a little different.
Because I've seen you attack those chocolate chip cookies.
It certainly worked for number 23. He has it now here on Marcotte. Nice crossover and a little floater off the glass.
Shake, bake, and break an ankle right there. Left, right, accelerate to the 10. Just a tough matchup for Marcotte. Danny Smith to the 10.
Biggest lead of the game for OR Academy. Dawson Brown came into the ball game. He fouled just to get things out of that spread. He'll stay in there for Mount Carmel. His first action here in the state finals. Speaking of first, this whole 2A tournament has been a tournament of first, and there is Brown again. He will put the foul on. That will be the 15th foul on the Aces.
See that left-right crossover and the elevation. He sees the open lane. He takes it. First year playing organized basketball, and he plays like a seasoned veteran. Started his career at Lincoln Park High School.
Loose ball 2. Smith. And a timeout called by Lewis Adams with 6:02 to play. You take a look there at the Buss brothers. You have Kyle Buss and, of course, head coach Tyler Buss. And there's one more Buss, Katie, that is big-time name here in Illinois.
Let me tell you a little bit about their family history when it comes to basketball. She was the protector of the one-on-one when Tyler and his younger brother would play. Then it evolved a little bit into playing against Tyra and trying to toughen her up. But it got to a point where Tyler Buss said he just had enough. Then he decided to put her through some drills, was kind of coaching her and rebounding for her. I talked to the guys on the team about the Buss family and their relationship with basketball. They consider them their family too. They say Tyler is the dad, Kyle, the assistant coach, is the uncle, and Tim, the superintendent, he's the grandpa, guys.
You know, and you talk about the family, it was a very special night because Tyler Buss won the IBC Coach of the Year award the same night that Tyra won one of her 2 Miss Basketball awards here in Illinois. I don't know how much prouder a family could be.
I think there were some photo ops and some family pride that night.
Tyra at Indiana University, and you know, a lot of folks, as we follow the state tournaments through the years on the girls' side, always wanted to get the all-time leading scorer in Illinois to the state finals. But what happened was every single season it was 2 Topolis that would knock out the Aces, and Tyra Buss never got to Redbird Arena. In fact, it wasn't until this year in the first game of the sectionals that any basketball team, boys or girls, had ever beaten T-Town in the postseason.
Great job by Orr spreading the floor. Try to get Raekwon Drake in the middle eventually, but as long as you keep the middle open, you can attack like that.
Didn't get the roll from O'Neal. Have to score in a hurry. And that'll do part of it. 3 points from Stipp.
Stipp's got a high motor. He's transferred his game from a throw player to a flat-out player. At the other end, the answer by that gym rat, Hernandez.
Smith. The fans wanted more. There's been about 3 opportunities for Danny Smith. You could just feel Carver Arena kind of like sucking in their breath. And that's a soft little layup off the glass, getting the job done. Carpenter has been well defended tonight. Justin Carpenter just 4 points tonight, 2 of 10 from the floor after his monster game in the semifinals.
Raekwon Drake did a good job. He was behind him in the post, but he made him shoot up and over him, staying vertical and providing a wall for him to shoot over.
We have some bad news here for Class 2A coaches. You take a look at Mount Carmel. Out of their top 7 players, only 1 is a senior. That's Justin Carpenter. Or they only have 2 seniors on their roster. Be careful how you schedule next season. 4:12 to play and an 18-point lead for Orr here in the 2A title game.
We are back in Peoria for this 2A championship game inside Carver Arena. We are in the 4th quarter. Orr leads Mount Carmel 52-34. And yesterday during shoot-around, Coach Adams ran up to his team, but it was to tell them something really special, that Chance the Rapper had donated $10,000 to Orr Academy. This was the news they were getting literally minutes before taking the court. I talked with a few of the guys about it, and Tyrone Mosley distinctly said, I want to meet him, but not just because he's Chance, because he wanted to thank him personally. Coach Adams told me the money will most likely be used towards academics at the school, guys.
You know, and I was right there, Katie, when Lewis Adams found that out, and genuinely, he ran up to his team as we were ready to go to the media room, and he was so excited, not because of a dollar amount, because somebody was going to do something for his school.
Well, and Tyrone Mosley, as Katie told us, wanted to thank because of the academics. He's a 3.4 GPA on his resume, and he wants to be an architect. So that's the kind of young man Tyrone Mosley is. He said his mom raised him to value academics.
You know, one thing that's interesting about Mosley is he wants to be an architect, and what he'll do is if he sees a building or a house that he really likes, he'll just stop, he'll take a picture. He's looking beyond just his time on the basketball floor, though his dream is to play basketball overseas.
He can play at the next level after high school, no doubt.
From the corner. Inside position and the elevation from Raekwon Drake. 19 points for Danny Smith tonight. Raekwon Drake with 13 on the other side. Jackson Marcotte has 17, the only player in double figures for Mount Carmel.
That matchup has been in our screen quite a bit of this quarter. Marcotte and Danny Smith. Danny Smith so quick with the basketball. He can play inside, outside, back to the basket. He can create off the bounce.
O'Neal, you heard the slap as he headed through the lane. About Emmanuel O'Neal comes off the bench. A spark. He's their leading assist player, 4.7 per game.
Yeah, he's delivered 103 assists on the season. Good picture of the young man. Opportunity for you to call the play-by-play of the state championship. How about Scott Allen, the play-by-play man from Mount Carmel, southeast part of Illinois, winner of the Hall of Fame in 2009, the same year as Dave Bernhardt went in. Quite a couple that was.
We were two up with, since they line you up alphabetically, we were two people apart in that ceremony. And I had a chance to talk to Scott Allen. He's from Peoria. There's Justin Carpenter getting his third basket. Originally from Peoria, and so touched that he was going to get a chance to come here and call a Mount Carmel game. He's been announcing for the Aces since 1980, and this was just a very, very special weekend for him. He said he was going to cry like a baby. I don't know that he did that on the air, but he has to be one proud member. He also runs the website allthingsaces.com.
Another deflection. Deflection after deflection.
The Austin Rager heading to the line. In 2013, the Orr Academy Spartans did not win a game down here. They finished fourth, a 25-2 record. And then in 2014, Lewis Adams picked up the third place trophy. Those were in Class 3A, and he is still working it here with a 19-point lead and 2:38 to play.
Okay, so technology and fitness involves heart rates in this day and age. If you put a heart rate monitor on Lewis Adams before the game or doing shoot around, it would probably be, 75, 78. If you put a heart rate monitor and working his bench right now, I don't know if it can register at the top end.
Katie was talking about his chef skills and genuine chef skills, cooking for 50 to 100 people in his neighborhood. I wonder what sort of intensity he brings to that. In fact, he has cooked for upwards of 1,000 people at an auto race in North Carolina. And talking to a couple of his players, that cooking is legit. And I was actually going to get a little bit of a jerk chicken sample on Thursday. Didn't quite play out that way.
Didn't happen.
No.
So the Aces were in a man-to-man. Now they've switched to a 1-2-2 trap.
I'm sorry, Mark. I'm looking down to Lewis Adams. He comes running up, jumping up and down, running them out with 2:09 to play. Oh, man. A full timeout called by Orr Academy.
A little bit of a giggle from the officials during that timeout.
Okay, you want a timeout? I need a timeout. Here we go.
Watch, he's working. He's going to anticipate. He's going to anticipate it right now. He sees something he doesn't like. And once he doesn't like it, he's going to let his team know it. Tyron Mosley gets a mouthful. What coaching box?
You have to love that passion. And he is so proud of his team. You know, he has the different moods that he goes in. And I don't mean like good mood, bad mood, but more of a reflective mood or an intense mood. I mean, you talk to him, once you get into the players and what he thinks of his players, and you heard earlier in one of our get-to-knows, his genuine care, not just as a basketball player, but he understands, as Rick Tellender told us that they have, he understands all the challenges that these players face in their daily lives, and he is such a mentor to these young men.
Dean's assistant, grew up in Tunica, Mississippi. And will he be back next year?
You'll have to ask him.
Yeah.
He's had the up and down decision making, and I said he looks at his roster and he sees just Alex Flute and Sam Williams, the only seniors on his team.
I imagine if Katie asked him, she wouldn't get an answer.
And again, you hear some folks say, oh, Raquan Drake with the layup. He has 15 points. Under 2 minutes to play and a 20-point difference here in your 2A championship game. Orr will become the 10th different Class 2A state champion in the 10 years of 4-class basketball.
And we crowned a 1A state championship team for the 10th different team to win a title game this afternoon as well.
Next weekend back here for 3A and 4A action super sectionals coming up on Tuesday across the state. And it will be Blake Golden that will have a seat on the bench, and we will see various people come off the bench here in the last few moments of this game. And there's the flush. One thing Raquan Drake wanted to do is he said, I want to come to Carver Arena, I want to dunk, I like to put on a show for the fans.
Oh my, Brian Hernandez caught the ball in the middle of the defense, and he knew where 25 was just kind of hanging out. Raquan Drake rattle the rim and knock it down. What a great sound that is, isn't it?
And the hugs going on in front of each of the benches here. The wrap up of an outstanding season for each of these two teams. They're the Aces fans. How about this? They have waited since 1927. I don't know how many of those folks in there are 90 years old, but they would have just been born the last time that Mount Carmel made it to the semifinals. They won the state championship that year. In fact, some of the players, Justin Carpenter has said, I can't even relate to that. I can't even relate to 90 years. 73 years since they were in the Elite Eight.
Now, Tyler Buss has removed his starters one by one. All the underclassmen. There's one starter left out there, Justin Carpenter, a senior. He did that intentionally to get that young man his due credit as he leaves this program.
Ball flipped up off the backboard from Michael Taylor. And here is Justin Carpenter, headed to Southeast Missouri State. Right now, he's an ace. And that's how he will finish his high school career. He had the opening. He put it down, and he's coming out right now. What a great job by Tyler Buss to make this happen.
Absolutely. He gets his senior the recognition. He finishes on a dunk in the title game. Coach Buss calls timeout. Look at that picture. That's what it's all about. The Twin Towers saying goodbye to each other.
Snuck a peek.
Yeah, he liked it. He gave himself a 9.
Sean Harris, he'll jump it up. Into the game now for Mount Carmel, Luke Gould, and there's the Orr Academy Spartans. Ha, look at the smiles there. The Orr fans came down to Peoria. High hopes, and those hopes were realized.
These young men have done a great job taking a would-do trophy to Pulaski on the west side of Chicago, 2A representative.
Braden Peterson to bring it up. He'll get it to Jorge Mercado Figueroa. He'll stay with it. The Mount Carmel fans wanted that one to go for Figueroa. We're down to the final 2 seconds. Orr Academy, your state champions in 2A. Lewis Adams coaching to after the buzzer. His players celebrate, and he says, go line up. And mutual respect going through that line. Orr Academy coming out here, playing with poise. They had that run against them, that one moment when Mount Carmel made that 9-2 run, cut it to an 8-point game. The momentum had shifted a little bit. And that the gentleman wearing the black and gold all of a sudden turned that switch in a different direction.
Well, they took a punch and they came right back with a 1-2 punch, and they're ultimately getting the knockout. About 5.5, 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. The smile of a champion right there. Tyrone Mosley played a whale of a ball game in his own right. Just a complete game by a complete team that showed the ability to win a championship in a myriad of ways. They did it on the glass. They did it with jump shooting. They did it with defense. They did it with spreading the floor, ball handling. A complete team, a well-coached team, and a champion.
He wears number 0, but this play was anything but a 0. Our Wintrust play of the game coming right at you. That's Tyrone Mosley, the 6'6" junior. The Wintrust play of the game from Mosley. (59-39) is your final score. There is Lewis Adams. Close relationship with Danny Smith. Let's go now to Katie Winge.
Thanks, Dave. Guys, tell me how it feels right now.
I feel good right now. It's awesome.
I'm speechless. I can't say. I don't even know what to say. I'm speechless. They played a hell of a basketball game tonight. We deserve it. We've been working hard. They deserve it.
You particularly worked very hard in this offseason, the team overall, running all those laps on the track. How does it feel to see everybody be successful now?
It feels good. I like to see my team well. I play team basketball. I like to see everybody shine. If one shine, we all should shine. So it feels good for my team to come out with this W.
Coach, Chance gave your school $10,000 yesterday. How does the feeling right now compare to that?
Well, $10,000 is good. This is a better feeling. So I'm happy he donated. We never met him, but from what I see, the body of work he's doing is good for the city of Chicago, and I would like to say thanks for everything he's done for us.
What does this mean for the city of Chicago?
Hopefully, it adds on to what I want to think is going to be a bright future. It's going to get better in Chicago. Everything's coming together. We'll be fine.
Will you be back next year, Coach?
I'll tell you in 2 weeks.
You told me that you were going to tell me tonight.
I haven't decided yet.
Congratulations, guys. Go celebrate with your team. Orr takes this one over Mount Carmel, the 2A state champions. Back to you guys, Dave and Mark.
Thanks, Katie. I was wondering what kind of response you were going to get, and you challenged him. Good job. And you look at the pure joy. I think a lot of people, Mark, and you've coached your share of state title ball games. All year you're pushing, and you end up in this spot. And it's like almost a release of pressure and elation at the same time.
Well, there's no doubt, and there's no way to describe it. And especially, in a 20-point win, you think, okay, it's a little bit anticlimactic. We start celebrating a couple minutes ago. But then when you call that last 5 seconds, you count it down, the explosion takes place in the hearts of a champion.
You just saw our Country Financial Player of the Game. He's Danny Smith. Tonight, 19 points and 7 assists for Smith. He talked about the team game. He played the team game. Just a junior. He'll be back. Spartans only losing Alex Flute and Sam Williams off this roster. Danny Smith, Lewis Adams. They're getting set to receive their medals along with second-place finisher Golden Aces from Mount Carmel, and let us go to the award ceremony as Rick Tellender continues his relationship with Orr Academy. Let's go to Paul Herzog.
Principal, Pat Cheeseman. Athletic Director, Michael Brewer. AD Assistant, Karen Kelsey. Certified Athletic Trainer, Sam Hodges.
Good job.
Head coach, Tyler Buss.
Good job, coach. Congratulations. Thank you.
Assistant coach, Kyle Buss.
job, Coach. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you.
Scorekeeper, Teresa Marcotte.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And now the Golden Aces players. 3, Braden Stipp. 4, Brett Doan.
Congratulations. Good job, bud.
5, Blake Golden. 10, Logan Durham. 12, Dawson Brown. 20, Justin Carpenter. 21, Austin Rager. 23, Jorge Mercado Figueroa. 25, Luke Burbrick. 30, Braden Peterson. 33, Luke Gould. 34, Jackson Marcotte. 40, Jaden Merritt. And 44, Noah Singer. Congratulations, Golden Aces of Mount Carmel, second place for 2017. Presenting the medallions to Chicago or the first place team will be Greg Bradley and Robert Nolting. At this time, let's meet the Director of Public Schools. Congratulations, Chicago Orr Spartans, Tony McCoy. Principal, Chanel Andrews.
Thank you.
Athletic Director, Thomas Johnson. Administrator, Thais Sims. Head coach, Lewis Adams. Assistant coach, Carlos Enriquez. Assistant coach, Wendell Pierce. Assistant coach, Phil Gibson. Assistant coach, Jamail Ridley. Manager, Kaiwan Brown. And now the Spartan players. 0, Tyron Mosley. 1, Michael Taylor. 2, Emmanuel O'Neill. 3, DeMarte Bell. 4, Alexander Flute. 5, Brian Hernandez. 10, Sam Williams. 11, Sean Harris. 23, Danny Smith. 24, Demetrius Reedy. 14 was Chris Gilkey. And 25 is Raekwon Drake. Congratulations to Orr Spartans, first place 2017. Presenting the second place trophy will be Chuck Nagel. At this time, will Coach Buss and the captains of Mount Carmel step forward to receive the second place trophy. Congratulations to the Mount Carmel Golden Aces. Presenting the championship trophy will be Tim McConnell. Coach Adams and the captains of Orr, please step forward to receive the 2017 2A championship trophy. Congratulations.
There's your Menards Trophy presentation. Congratulations to Mount Carmel, that second place trophy, and of course to the Spartans Moore Academy picking up the championship here in 2017. Dave Bernhardt along with Mark Lindo. And Mark, we talked about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago, how we were going to see all kinds of Division I talent on this floor, and we did. But teams win championships.
Well, A ton of star power here tonight, but molded unity as one. All facets of the game flowing for the Orr Spartans tonight. A worthy champion, a disciplined champion, a champion that did it all on a biggest stage here this weekend.
20-point win for the Spartans from Chicago. This tournament, the 2A tournament, a tournament of firsts. Bishop McNamara and Monticello, their first Final Four in school history. For Mount Carmel, their first Final Four in 90 years. And for Orr Academy, their first state basketball championship. What's coming your way next week? We have 3A and 4A coming to you from Carver Arena as America's original March Madness continues. It will be week number 4 of 4. Make sure you join us right here on CSN.